Hello, guys. Welcome to the second episode of our relationship series. Sir, it's good to have you back
It's
again.
my pleasure to be back.
All right, so let's dive in.
Right.
Um, so, sir,
Yes.
what boundaries?
Okay.
Yes, because it's necessary
Yes.
to set boundaries
Of
in
course.
every kind of relationship,
Of course.
whether it's platonic,
Yes.
emotional, any kind of relationship.
Sure.
It is very essential to set boundaries because if
Sure.
there's no boundaries, then abuse is inevitable.
Definitely.
So, what boundaries should be set during courtship to maintain purity and respect?
All right. So, in courtship, you understand, this question, it depends on the individual who are in the courtship, who are courting. If it's individual that believe that that they are big on sexual purity, then they can find the common ground to work it out. But there are some believers that don't practice. They think they practice sexual purity, but they don't. You understand? For instance, there are believers who they don't have sex, but they do other things, and they believe that they are sexually pure. And there are believers that have that notion. So when they get to court somebody, they carry that notion into courtship. They will tell you things like, "But we can kiss now, we can do other things, but no sex." But sexual purity is sexual purity.
Yes.
Right. So for believers, two believers who are intentional courting, who understand what sexual purity is, one thing I can say is that please do not sleep over in his house. Do not sleep over in our house. You understand? Don't go and say you want to do night vigil together, or you want to do retreats, you want to pray together. Even if you want to do that, bring a third party, right? Do not sleep over in his house. Do not sleep over in our house. When it comes to these things, let's not be too spiritual about it.
Yeah.
Let's not say I'm too spiritual, not to fall into that kind of temptation. So it's very important. Then number two, dress decently. So I know that brother has big chest. I know he has hairy chest, big chest with 6 packs. So when the sister visits him, please, brother, cover yourself.
Cover yourself.
Cover yourself, please. You don't have to show her your big chest. You don't have to show her your 6 packs. And then, sister, when he visits you, I know you are endowed.
Lord.
You understand? So cover yourself too as well. Right? So dress decent, help each other. Dress decently. Then number three, have an accountability partner, someone you're accountable to, a spiritual leader or a mentor. Someone of that sort. So have someone you're accountable to. Then number four, please do not be overly touchy and overly playful. When you're courting somebody, or when you're in a courtship with somebody, there is this tenderness to want to be loose around this person. You're comfortable around this person because you've known each other. There is something going on. You're working towards getting married, so you tend to be loose. You tend to be very loose around the person. So it's very important for you to know how to set boundaries. Do not be overly touchy. You understand? Do not know how you touch each other because any small thing can trigger something.
Yes.
So do not be overly then also do not be overly playful. You understand? If you're serious about sexual purity, do not be overly playful. You understand? Even if you want to be playful, be very intentional. Because there are plays you will play. One will hit another one pillow. They will run, enter bedroom. From there, something don't stop. You understand? So please do not be overly touchy, do not be overly playful.
Okay.
Then also do not kiss. Yes, please do not kiss. I know there are people that would say, but what is there in kissing? Please do not kiss. Reason why I'm saying this is because let's be sincere with ourselves. When you're courting somebody, when you're in a relationship with somebody, there is this sexual tension that goes on.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because you're attracted to this person emotionally. You're also sexually attracted to the person.
Yes.
So how can you tell me that there is nothing there? So you just kiss and your body is okay. You are lying to me now. Especially in that early phase.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Because the sexual tension is high.
Yes.
So please do not tempt the devil and say you want to kiss. It's just kissing. You understand?
Yeah.
Please do not kiss. Very, 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 very important. Another one I have to say is that learn to communicate. If you feel like your partner is beginning to do things that trigger you sexually, maybe the way he touches you or the way he does things, communicate. Tell him. If you both are really good Christians, he will feel remorse and he will correct himself, or she will feel remorse, and she will correct herself. Okay, so communicate when you're beginning to feel that he or she is beginning to cross your boundary.
Okay.
You communicate. Don't hold it in. Don't try to hide it or try to make everything peaceful. No, communicate. Right. So very, very important.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Oh, that was so much. I hope we got that. You mentioned a whole lot of things. You said, do not be playful.
Yes.
Setting boundaries.
Overly playful.
Don't be overly playful.
Yes.
Don't be overly touchy.
Exactly.
And
do not sleep in each other's house. Sleep over in each other's house.
Come on. And please dress
decently. Exactly.
Whether you're a guy or
a lady.
Because most times we do say it's only
ladies
that should dress
moderately.
You now see brothers putting on shorts. Oh, come on. Putting on boxers.
Yeah.
Why?
You understand? And maybe when they ask you, when you see somebody come now, for instance, they ask you, like, your partner comes and complains to you that this is what you did to me yesterday, this is what happened, right? And then he or she tells you that did not happen. Sometimes they even shift blame and tell you, you are the one that hurt me, just to avoid to take responsibility for their actions. You understand? So they make you feel crazy. You begin to wonder, but this thing happened. They will tell you that did not happen, right? Just to shy away from owning up to their mess, right? So they gaslight you. You understand? That's what gaslighting means. Like when someone makes you feel like what is true is untrue.
It's untrue.
So they have a way to trick your brain to believe that thing that is true is not true. You understand? So that is a very, very big toxic trait right there.
Wow.
So another toxic trait also is what they call, I think, I love the way, I love to put it this way, passive aggression. Yes, these people, they are not directly aggressive. They don't come at you directly, but they are very passive with the aggression. In the sense that when you hurt them, they may not confront you directly, but then they will say things that will hurt you in a playful way. They will hide it under sarcasm. Those things that they know that will get to you, they will just say it, they will state it, and that thing will stab your heart. And they will know that thing stab your heart, but they will say it in a playful way. And sometimes they do this silent treatment. You understand? You ask them what the problem is, they will not
tell you.
They will just be carrying their face like this up and down. They will not tell you what the problem is. That is a toxic trait.
Very toxic.
Very big toxic one. It's tiring sometimes. So
very tiring.
Because you keep asking the person, what did I do wrong? They will not tell you anything. So it's better when you do something, let somebody come and confront you for it. You understand? Bring it out. You did this to me. Then you apologize and everything. But this one, they will carry it in their hearts.
And be waiting for it.
Exactly.
And they will release it.
Of course. So that is a very big toxic trait. Then there's another one they call codependency. This one is when someone loses his or her individuality. Right? So they live for relationship. They overly depend on their partner or on the relationship to have a sense of identity.
My God.
So like these people now, they don't have any other thing going on for them. They just want to get married. And this is mostly in ladies. There's nothing going on for them in life. All they want is just to get married. Right? And this kind of people, I call them takers, because they will keep taking from you. They are parasitic.
Oh my God.
They will keep taking and taking and taking and taking. Seriously. Because all they want is just to, they want to just, they want to have a sense of identity in that relationship. That's why you see these girls that they come after their boyfriends break up with them, they commit suicide because they're not living for any other thing anymore. All they want, all they know, they will tell you, even some will even cry and say, "You are my life. If you leave me, I will die." Some ladies say that.
Yes.
So that thing is a toxic trait.
Very toxic.
Very, very toxic trait. So another toxic trait is also emotional unavailability. Yes, there are people who are not in touch with their emotion.
Robots.
Really, but this one is okay. I won't really categorize, but it happens to both genders. They are not in touch with their emotion, and this can be as a result of abandonment issues as a child. Maybe they were not exposed to love growing up. Maybe their dad or their mom were not present. You understand? Or maybe they were present, but they did not express love to the child. So when a child is deprived of love, he or she tends to lose that emotional connection So they cannot connect with you emotionally.
Wow.
They don't know what you're talking about. And those kind of people, it's very difficult for them to be vulnerable around people. You understand? So that one also is a toxic trait. Right? Because in relationship, you need to be vulnerable.
Yes.
You need to connect emotionally with your spouse or your partner.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
that is just it. So another toxic trait is controlling behavior. This one is very common in this part of our world, Africa.
Yeah.
Controlling behavior. You see, your partner is trying to control everything you do. They're trying to control where you go. They're trying to control the friends you make. Everything. They want to control your life totally. So that is also a big toxic trait in a relationship. Then also you have what we call blame shifting. These people, they don't like to take blames. They always, anytime they mess up, they don't take responsibility for their actions. They don't own up to their mistakes. So they always like to shift blame. So these things are toxic traits. Then you ask, how can one address them?
Yeah.
So first of all, like I said before, is acknowledge that you have a problem.
Okay.
Once you acknowledge that you have a problem, then the problem is 50% solved. And when you acknowledge that you have a problem, then identify the triggers. Because these things, they have triggers. What are those things that trigger you to act, to exhibit such toxic traits? You understand? For instance, now, maybe you see a couple, maybe the man normally he has a loud voice. His voice is loud. And the lady, maybe she's from a family where her father was verbally abusive. The father curses her, raises his voice at her. Then, when that lady gets married to that kind of guy, and then maybe they're having a conversation, and the guy's voice begins to get loud, she will pick offense. She will get annoyed. She will get sad, or she will start trying to fight the guy. Or the guy may be wondering, what did I do wrong? But that loud voice is a trigger to her. So you identify with triggers and then work on them. You understand? So when you do that, also you take responsibility. When you know that, okay, you have it, and maybe involuntarily you did something or you exhibited that toxic thing, own up, apologize. You understand? Own up to your mess and apologize. Then I think the next one is to seek a professional help. There are people who are trained to help you recover from trauma.
Therapists.
Yes, therapists who are there to help you heal, of course. So yes, then lastly is, talk to God. When you own up to that, this is my problem, talk to God about it, present it to God. So that is just it.
Wow. So you're teaching us a lot. I hope we are getting these viewers. So you mentioned a lot of toxic traits.
Yes.
Gaslighting, blame shifting.
Yes.
And you also mentioned how to address them.
Yes.
Okay. So now this brings us to the next one.
All right.
What is narcissism? And how can it be identified in oneself or others?
God. This one is the grandfather of them all.
The grandfather of all of them toxic traits.
Narcissism. Wow. Well, narcissism can be defined as an inflated sense of self-importance. You understand? When you feel better than everybody. When you feel like nobody's better than you. You're the talk of the town. You're bigger than everyone. You match people's head and you don't care. So that is narcissism. When there is an exaggerated sense of self-importance.
And it's against scripture.
Exactly. It's against
scripture.
Scripture
Advises that we think others more important
than ourselves. So you see, it contradicts what God told us in the scriptures. Right. So you said, how can you identify?
No, you said, how can, yes, in oneself or others.
Okay. Number one is, just like I said, exaggerated sense of self-importance. Which is that someone is always portraying himself or herself as more important than others. They don't put others first before them, above them, or they just want to. It's always about them. Right. Also, another way to know is when, they don't handle criticism well. Yes. They don't handle criticism. They don't like people to criticize them. When you criticize them or when you tell them that this is what you did wrong, they are very defensive because they are never wrong. They can never be wrong and they can never be sorry because they will tell you that they are never wrong. So these people are in their mind, they are always Mr. Right. They can never do anything. They can never be wrong. You understand? So they don't like to accept criticism. You understand? They don't like to be criticized. You understand? So another way to know is also they are very, very arrogant. Yes, they are very, very arrogant. They treat people in such condescending way. They like to put people down. They like to criticize people. They like to talk people down, right? They like to match people on their head, right? So they will say things. They will emphasize more on your bad sides. They can never talk about your good sides. They can never compliment you. So they will lay more emphasis on those things that make you bad. Maybe something that's very tiny, they will enlarge it, amplify it. You understand? So, and this thing is something that it makes them feel good. It makes them puff up. Ego. You understand? They feed from criticism. They feed from putting people down. So it's a very, very deep thing. Very bad. You understand? So another way to know is also this constant need for admiration. They want to be the center of attention.
My God.
They want everybody to talk about them. In most cases, they even monopolize conversations. Right? The topic should be about them.
me.
It's always about them. Right? So it's very, very terrible. It's very, very, very bad. So another way to know is also their manipulative behavior. They like to exploit people. Right? They like to exploit people. They like to, they can exploit you just for their own benefit. They can exploit you just to achieve their own goals. It's always about them. It's never about you. It's always about them. Right? And also, they lack empathy. They struggle to connect with, they struggle to care about your feelings or understand your feelings. In most cases, they disregard your emotion or they invalidate it. There's no reason for you to feel this way. So they don't care about people's emotion. They don't care about people's emotion at all. So also another way to know it, they're always envious. When they see people who are better than them, they are very envious. They want, because they know deep down that this guy is good, this girl is good, but they will always look for a way to bring you down. You understand? So to their level. So these are common. When you see these things, you know that narcissism is there. You understand? So, and then you also asked a question: how can it be resolved?
No, that's the next one I want to ask.
Okay.
What strategies can help individuals overcome narcissistic behaviors in themselves or others?
All right. So, it's almost like the same thing I said with toxic traits, right? So, first off, you self-reflect. All right, self-reflect, acknowledge that there is a problem. But with narcissistic people, it's very difficult for them to look at themselves. The problem is always with others, not them. So it's very hard.
So can you say now that this narcissism is a psychopathic problem?
Yes, I can. Reason is this, most of the times, these things, they come from somewhere. You understand? They come from somewhere. So you see, sometimes this thing comes from parents. They don't teach their children to apologize or to own up to their mistakes. You understand? So, when there's a way you place your child on the pedestal, with that childish mindset, the child will grow up like that. You understand? The child can go to school and say, I'm better than you. You're not better, I'm the best in this. Because the mom will always, not that those things are not good, but there's a balance to it.
There's a balance.
So, but when you overdo it, you don't punish the child for his or her wrongs. You're always praising the child and everything. You understand? It's this thing, it fosters narcissism. So they grow up with that, and they can never apologize. And so these things, they come from, so that's why it's very important for us to look into these things, right? For us to that's why it's very important for us to expose ourselves to knowledge in parenting.
Like we're doing now.
Exactly. You understand? You need to know these things so that you will not make that mistake. And maybe their parents they didn't do it like knowingly. You understand? But maybe because of excess love for the child, they don't correct the child. The child does not make a mistake. He doesn't get punished. You understand? So those things can also foster narcissism.
Yes.
Right. So that's just it.
Okay. So for somebody that is just getting to hear now that maybe the person now, based on what we just talked about now, is able to tell that, I have narcissistic traits.
Yes.
So the first advice you are giving the person is, as you have now known, you should seek help.
Exactly.
Maybe go to a therapist or a counselor.
Let me talk about that more. Well, when you know that, the first step is if you know that you are narcissistic, that's 50% the problem is solved. Because that thing, narcissism, you barely, most of the time they don't look at themselves. But when you admit that, this thing this person is saying, I have this tendency, You understand? That is 50%. You acknowledge that that is a problem. You understand? So you self-reflect. In what way have these things been coming out? What are my friends saying about these things? So when you start doing all those things, then that's when you start to you start to learn how to take responsibility. Maybe you do something and your friend corrects you, or you intentionally tell your friend, please, when I exhibit this kind of behavior, please let me know.
Yeah.
You just tell me, let me know. Accountability. So when you start becoming intentional and start taking responsibility, then you've already started your journey on healing, right? And then also when you start practicing empathy, yes, when you start putting other people's needs first, you understand, you practice empathy, you learn to feel for others, what others are feeling, learn to feel those things too. You understand? Don't make it all about you all the time.
Okay.
Right? So those are things you need to really work. And then seek professional help. You understand? Seek professional help. Go on. I know that it's not rampant here in our country or in this side of our this thing. So seek help, seek professional help. You understand? So, and then also, like as usual, as a Christian, present it to God.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Let God purge you for starting out of you.
So just for our viewers to know, narcissism is not only about the male or the female.
No, it's
not only a gender. It's not
a gender thing, but it's mostly in males.
Okay.
Mostly males.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So moving on. How can one recognize if someone is leading them on or not? Genuinely interested.
Wow, interesting. So how you know that someone is leading you on? Okay. Well, first off, when the person is inconsistent in communication, when someone loves you, they'll keep in touch. They'll be very consistent in communication, right? So when someone is inconsistent in communication, the person reaches out when he or she needs something, when it suits them, when it's convenient, right? If that's the only time he or she reaches out, then that is a red flag. The person is leading you on, because if someone loves you, they'll be consistent in reaching out. They'll be consistent in communication. Or when he chats you today, the next time he will chat you is maybe in 2 weeks' time. So just know that the guy is or the lady is leading you on. Then another way to know is avoidant commitments. You know, this one is, these people, they are reluctant to define the relationship. They never talk about future plans and involve you. So that means you're not even a priority. They don't see the future with you. You understand? So you're just there for the meantime.
For the meantime.
Right. So there is no commitment. They find it hard to define things, to tag the relationship, to define it. They find it very, very hard. So another way to know is also mixed signals, hot and cold. There are people who are hot and cold. Today they are all lovey, tomorrow they are distant. They keep doing that. Maybe they say they like you, but they don't act that way. Or even when they act that way, it's not consistent.
The actions
is not consistent. So they can be very lovey and cheesy with you today, then tomorrow they are very distant with you. So that's on and off is a red flag. It's how you know that someone is not really interested in you. Then also lack of effort to get to know you. Yes, because when someone loves you, they want to get to know you better. They want to get to know some details about you. So, but when someone lacks the interest of getting to know you, that means the relationship is superficial, it's not deep. The person has no plans with you, future plans with you, right? So that is also a red flag there. Then also lack of initiative. When you're always the one initiating, you initiate conversations, you initiate dates, you initiate outing plans, you initiate everything. If you're always the one initiate and the other person does not initiate at all, that's a red flag. The person is leading you on, right? Also, when the relationship is stagnant, when it's not moving anywhere, that's another. And also when the person is not vulnerable with you, they don't share their feelings with you. You understand? That's how you know that the person is leading you on.
Wow. That's so much. All right. So moving on.
All right.
I posted something about this on my status.
Okay.
And it caused a lot of controversies. Sisters were saying their own, brothers were saying their own. Like everybody had an opinion on what should or should not be done. So I want us to bring perspective to this matter.
All right.
And so is financial support expected in a premarital relationship?
Okay.
And should partners contribute financially to each other's lives before marriage?
Should partners contribute financially? Well, that one I think is choice. Depends on the individual, depends on agreement, understanding. Understand? But the first question you said you talked about my interest there is the financial support and expecting. You understand? So there's a slight difference between giving and financial support. But let me talk about giving first. Well, giving is an act of love.
Okay.
Just like in the scriptures, the Bible made us to understand that for God so loved the world. So how did he express his love? He gave, right? So giving is an act of love. Just like the way you expect commitment in a relationship, you expect attention, you expect love. Giving should be expected too.
Okay.
Giving is an act of love. When you say you love a person, you give to the person.
Whether male
or female,
okay.
Both. But then coming to that area now, in most cases, the ladies are more expectant than the guys.
To receive
than the guys, right? Because it's for me. I think that a lady expecting the guy to give, I don't see anything wrong with that. Although let me bring balance.
Okay.
There's a difference between expectation and imposing. Right? A lady can expect, this guy I'm courting, this guy I'm going out with, and the guy for one day has never bought you anything.
It's interpreted as stinginess.
Yes. So the guy has never bought you, he has never done anything, you understand? And if with that said, even in that stinginess, even the stingy ones still give. Because when a man loves you, he's a natural giver. He proves his love, especially at that early phase.
Yeah,
that early phase. Yes. Even if he doesn't have much, he will give. The little he has, he will give. So when you observe that this guy is not even doing anything, you understand, then something is wrong. So ladies should expect giving. Guys should also expect giving, because giving is an act of love. So but when it's bad is when you impose it. When you
mandate,
you mandate it, like you outrightly tell the person that I've not paid my school fees. Please, I know you love me and everything. Please, can you send me school fees? That means you're not wise. That doesn't make sense. So that it's not, you don't impose these things. You understand? Because you're not married yet, right? So if it's expectation, yes, the both can expect giving. Okay, but now coming to financial support, the truth is that there is no one general answer to that question. The reason why I said so is because it depends, one, on the individual who are involved, their understanding about things like this, and also two, the circumstances surrounding the situation that needs the financial support. You understand? So you can't say one general answer about that part. And also third is the financial stability. You understand? He said should a brother or sister expect financial support?
Yeah.
So you can't really say yes or no. Although I stand to be corrected, but for me you can't really say yes or no, because it depends on the circumstance. Maybe it's an emergency, something that happened all of a sudden, so you just need help or something. You need to, if it's an emergency, then you can expect, especially when you know that he or she can afford it, or they are working, they are financially stable, then you put not that you are asking them, but you just communicate to them that this is what is happening, and they don't do anything. In your heart, I know you will definitely expect help.
Yes.
Right? So it depends on the situation, or on the circumstance. Also, on financial stability. Not everybody is financially stable.
Okay.
So that one depends. So that's how I put it there.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. All right. So the next question, is also around this matter.
All right.
Say, is it necessary for couples to share financial burdens?
Okay.
Before tying the knot?
Well, I think
because when it comes to marriage these days now, everybody wants to have a lavish wedding.
Of course.
I don't know about males, but females, it's like it's something like it's almost
trending.
Yes, everybody wants to have a lavish wedding.
Okay.
So in this matter now, should a woman contribute in marriage? Like doing that wedding.
What I think is that it's by choice. If a woman wants to contribute, it's by choice, right? So you asked if a couple should share financial burden.
Yes.
Well, I think couples should talk about financial burdens. Take notes, talk about financial burdens. But couples should not share financial burden. Because why? The man knows that he's the sole provider.
Not many men know that.
Really?
Like some people now, this modernized stuff, I've started thinking about whether there should be a 50-50 sharing of financial burden.
Well, me, I don't think there should be, because as the man, you are the provider. So even if the woman wants to share the burden with you, it's by choice. It's by choice. You understand? It's by choice. If she chooses to, then it's fine. But what I believe is that the man is the provider, right? But that's why also it depends too, because there's a situation where the man is handicapped, but then the lady has some finance. You understand? Then the both of you can come to an agreement. You understand? Both of you can work out something. So it still depends on the people who are in the relationship.
Oh wow!
You understand? So yeah.
All right. So this brings us to the end of our podcast for today.
Wow.
It was so nice having you around, sir. Thank you for coming. Okay, so follow our Facebook page at One Purpose Team Network and our YouTube page at _blessing. It was a pleasure having you guys, and thank you all for following us. God bless you. See you next time.
Bye.